Hi everyone, Alex here. Today we're going to be looking at another update for AetherSX2. This is patch 2.4.7.2. It has a couple of neat new additions. A couple of them are fixes, which is fixed frame buffer being too small in some games, example test drive, and fix disabling bilinear upscaling in advanced options. But then there's one more, which is pretty interesting. So I've been testing out in a few games. So for example, if I go to Burnout and if I just go to the settings, this new one lets you change it. So upscale multiplier is at 2x. But now we have like these 0.25 increments down and up. So all the way down to 0.5, 0.751. So 0.5 and 0.75 is actually pretty great if you have like a Retroid Pocket 2 or something. That might actually make some games a lot more playable, and it might actually work well for the small screen. Oh, I just set that to 3.5. I don't want to do that. So Burnout is a game I tested and said that it can only run at about 1x properly. I tested up and down. I found that maybe it runs about just as good as 1.25 speed. So let's have a little look at that. I'll turn it down a little bit. I took it up to about 1.5 and decided actually there's a few more dips here than I'd like. And to be honest, a 0.25 increment might not be much difference in quality for most people. But depending on some games, it might actually really help with some of the performance. So I think with Burnout 3, we're not really going to see much difference between 1 and 1.25, but I thought that'd be the interesting for the first game to test. And then I did the exact same thing in Burnout Revenge, because that was a game that was struggling just a little bit. So with Burnout Revenge, I've set it to 1.5. Originally it was at 2x. I think I said in my last video that the difference between 1x and 2x wasn't really any different. Maybe a slight performance increase at 1x, but probably not worth it. Now we kind of got like the best of both worlds with 1.5. It's still not running at like absolutely smooth throughout all these levels, but again, it's an interesting update to fiddle around with. But yeah, I ran through this level at 1.5x and I decided, yeah, actually I think this is a little bit better. So I really like this update. Ouch. This isn't going to be a very long video, but I also wanted to kind of clarify certain things from my last video. My last video was mostly testing different games and trying to optimize them as best as possible. I was trying to get, as many games playable as possible, but some games obviously just can't help. You just need a stronger CPU or GPU to handle everything it's going to do. So one game I thought might be playable, and I never played this before, was Katamari Damacy. Someone in the comments was telling me how you get to about level 4 and it opens up and it's not very playable. I got to level 4 and I have to remember how to play. And there is like drops, but someone else was saying that actually this game doesn't run that fantastic on a PlayStation 2 either. But I'm pretty sure whenever we're getting drops on the emulator, it is just the hardware, and the hardware's fault mostly. So when we get to about here, it does dive down a bit, but whilst we have async on, it's actually not like terrible to play. I think the most I saw it go down to was like minus 50, well not minus 50, 50% speed. I'm so bad at playing this game. I get so confused how to turn left and right. But to be honest, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I don't think I've changed my settings. I think, so first of all, we have this newest update, so I don't know if anything's really changed with this game. I don't know if the frame buffer has actually done much difference. But, you know, I have the settings the same as I had before, except now I have a 1.5 instead of a 2x. You know, this affinity control, I can probably turn that off. That probably isn't helping. I don't think I put that on in my guide either, so I never really find that helps with any games, really. But sometimes I like to check the CPU, GPU usage and see what's being used the most. And I just like to test and see if that affinity control actually does anything. Let's just load that again, because no save. And just go in a different direction. Yeah, I was playing this morning and I got to some of the more outdoor locations and I thought, you know, this isn't that bad. But it is one of those games with wide open spaces and lots of different models. There we go. Once we start getting a lot of like distance and things on screen, it does slow down a fair bit. But again, this is a choice up to you, if you can live with this, because once you start turning around and seeing less on the screen, it becomes less of a problem, sorry. But yeah, I would still say that's fairly playable, but obviously not ideal, not optimum. I had a quick look at Metal Gear Solid at, I think, maybe 1.5x. I think I was surprised to see actually this battle with Olga was a lot smoother than I expected it to be. Oh wow, I did it again. I need to play this game with the capture more often. And then I tested Metal Gear Solid 3. And this area was already playing decently enough anyway. But I'm just going to double check that I set this at 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. It's actually a difference I'm fairly happy to go with. I've been saying that I've been wanting to try and get these games at 2x. But I still think 1.5x actually looks pretty good. How am I not hitting him? Oh, he's down. But I played area. I took out all the guards in this area, and it was relatively smooth. I should have made a save state after I took out the guys. But I think the only reason I didn't is when combat happens, it's actually a good way of testing actually how well the game is going to perform. What else did I have a look at today? Some games I had a quick look at, like Dawn of Dreams. I set it down by like 2.5. It was running pretty decently. I think it's a nice little quality of life option we have here. Something I didn't have before and tested. I played this a fair bit this morning. This actually runs really well. I saw something on Reddit, someone saying once they get to level 2, the game tanks in performance, which it did. But this is 2x OpenGL and hardware download disable rebacks. And it's been running absolutely flawlessly. So I got all the way up to, I think I did all these levels in show off. Some of these tracks are really hard to get good scores. Let's go Tokyo Megaplex for a moment, because this actually has some... there's like a lot of stuff in the level. I originally got this on GameCube on the Dolphin emulator, and it wasn't running terrifically. So I was surprised. Oh, of course I would do that. It was a little surprising to see this running as well as it does on PS2 emulator. But this is a lot of fun to play. Really great to be able to have this as an option to play. Because this is one of my favorite games when I was growing up. Ah. It's the 5X. Wow, I remember that. Sometimes you just clip the edge there and it's so annoying. But we haven't had any dips. Yeah, that game is totally playable. I played basically every level and nothing dropped in frames, so that was really, really awesome. Whilst it's on my mind, I had someone comment that they wanted to check out a couple of games for me, and they were like pretty easy games to grab. So, did I make save states for these? I did. This is Gradius V. And I made a save state there, I think, because it like tanked in performance because of that effect. And I think once I turned down hardware readbacks, then suddenly it played decently. I think this is OpenGL 3X. Let's have a check on that. So what we got? Haven't changed the system settings. 3X OpenGL. It says not set, but that's what it is in my main settings. And then should have hardware readback, hardware download mode, disable or ignore transfers. And then this game is running absolutely perfectly. There is quite a good shoot 'em up collection on the PlayStation 2. It's not a genre of games I typically play. I used to, but I find I have less interest in them these days. And I'm dead. The other one they wanted me to test was Silpheed. It's got a pretty gnarly cover. And let's just have a quick look at that too. 3X OpenGL. I don't know if I changed hardware down. Nope, that was it. Ran very well. And there's quite a lot going on the screen sometimes, so... Oh, I forgot the buttons. So whilst it's on my mind, I think some games that really... I went to see if Zone of the Enders 2 played a little better because of this update. Doesn't seem to. I think I changed the resolution to 1.5x just to see if the boss I was fighting helped a little bit, but nah, no difference really, which is a shame. But I do seem to have this memory for some reason of playing Zone of the Enders 2, getting to that boss and not having any problems. So part of me is wondering if there's like an older version of the simulator where actually it does run well. That's always a possibility. But yeah, getting up close with this guy always slows down. This update hasn't changed anything. I really should get ahead of this boss and test a little bit more of the game. But it's kind of difficult to want to get further in a game when you've come up to like a roadblock and know that there is a problem, and it's very likely to come up again. Still very impressive overall. I'm still kind of like mind blown that we get to have so many PlayStation 2 games on the Odin. I don't know if the update would have made any differences to say like Valkyrie Profile 2. I can't remember if no, I don't have a save state in the forest, so I don't know if the texture issue would have been fixed. Was there anything else I checked out today? I think I had small looks where I like turned down the increment of Shadow of the Colossus, but that was already running pretty decently too. I think I did the same thing with Gran Turismo 4, because there was like one level in Gran Turismo 4 where it did like slow down a little bit. So I turned down the resolution by like one increment to like 1.75. Let's have a look at it actually. I think it was the dirt road track. And just double check. Yeah, 1.75. There were like some corners here where it dropped down to like maybe 90-ish. It's probably still the same problem, but if I was testing a little more, I'd maybe check 1.5. But since it was already running decently, I thought let's just see what kind of performance changes just going down by 2.5 resolution. And yeah, seems to be running very well. So this is a really good update. It seems like the kind of thing, at least the scaling options. It seems like those could have been around before, but it's nice to finally have them now. So we got a bit of a dip here, and that's where I'd maybe go, okay, let's have a look at 1.5 and see if that was any better. So much rumble on the Odin. Every time I play this, I keep talking about how there's always rumble in this game. I can hear the fan going a lot too. But usually I'd have the music up a lot more for something like this. Get more immersed in it. But yeah, I do feel like I'm sort of treading the same ground again. Same games. I had some like more requests for some stuff, but like sometimes somebody requests something like maybe like a Call of Duty game, and that might be on the GameCube as well. So it might be better to just check it out on Dolphin first, because it most likely will run better on there. I don't really know if there's any differences between Call of Duty games between like the GameCube and the PS2 version. But I would like to test out some more stuff. It's interesting to see some of these like more high profile games and see how well they run on the Odin. But it can do a lot, and that's really cool. Okay, I don't think there's anything else really worth testing for now. But yeah, a small update, small video. Thank you for watching. If you like that, give it a like, subscribe. There's a ding ding bell button for more content, and I'll be around with new videos soon. So have a great day. I'll see you around. Bye bye.